What's up, everybody? Welcome back to West Coast PopCast. It's your boys, man. Another Wednesday. We are back again with the relaunch of the podcast. Everything we're going to talk everything movies, wrestling, video games, and pop culture. So join us, our fellow poppers, if you will. If you remember the poppers, remember the Justice League. We're here to bring you some good product here, good podcast. Very excited to bring it to you guys. If you're new to the channel, we talk about everything from video games, wrestling, pop culture, with a whole list, a whole panel. Eric, the Infinity Champion, is here with his Justice League members. Uh, Zach won't be here right now. Maybe he'll pop in if we're lucky, like last week. But the main man, Zach, Atlas himself, who carries the weight of the world, might not be here. So I'll get that out of the way. And of course, me, the host, the final boss here of the West Coast Podcast, your boy Knock. Hope you guys are all doing well. Eric, how you feeling?
I'm doing A-okay. And you know what? It's cool to be a popper. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the icon. But it's even cooler to be a flopper. Get some flops in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get wet up in here.
Oh man, we're starting off right, man. Let us know if you're a popper, a flopper, a Justice League member, or a part of Zach's Rampage crew. You let us know what brought you here, brought you to the dance. We've been seeing a lot of the requests for tier lists. I'm telling you, the minute we get the chance to align our schedules, we're going to pump those tier lists out like there's no tomorrow. We have so many ideas cooking up for you guys for that. Again, I want to thank everyone we appreciate all the support. We're at 2,000 subs. Really appreciate that, man. This time last year, we even hit 1,000. A full calendar year later, we're closing in on 3. So we greatly appreciate that, man. Keep adding to the community. We really appreciate seeing you guys, and we love the comments. We love the community. From day one, a lot of you guys have been here, man, so we appreciate you all.
Absolutely. You know what also really helps us out is going back and checking out our old videos. I actually this is no joke. I was going through our backlog like 2 nights ago, and I clicked one of our tier lists, and I legit watched it start to finish, hour long. I forget sometimes just how entertaining we are.
We got some heat, bro. We got some heat, and we gel together. We appreciate you guys messing with us. We mess with you guys, and hey, throw those comments in. If you hate our opinions on the tier list, like that X-Men tier list that's getting butchered. Look how they butchered my boy. Or if you love him, like our video game tier list. We did a video game protagonist tier list that seemed to get a lot of good love, a lot of good support. Just let us know. We have a lot of interests. We know you guys have a lot of interests, and we're here to share.
Absolutely.
First topic of the day. I'm not even gonna dance around it. I'm gonna get straight to it. Eric, how are you feeling? GTA 6. We're going back to Florida, back to Vice City. There's a lot to unpack here. The trailer dropped a minute and a half. It dropped a day early because it leaked, and Rockstar said, no, you're not gonna one up us. We're gonna go ahead and drop the trailer officially. Eric, did you see the trailer, and what were your thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie. This one, I'm hyped for it. I mean, it's coming out in 2025, which means that they better have like a whole lot of stuff to put in there. My thoughts going into it were that we didn't see a whole lot of character. We saw, the main character, I forgot her name. That just goes to show. Thank you.
Yeah. It's blowing up the internet right now.
Props to them. This is their first female protagonist, right?
Yep.
Yeah. They had the closest we had was Tommy in GTA 3 with what's her name? Kara.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like they're really setting up the environment. They're really gonna make fun of Florida being the crazy ass place it is. I'm hyped for it. I think it's gonna be a fun game.
I think it is too, man. They take their time. This was last one came out 10 years ago. I always say the PS2 era had 3 GTA 5s. But the GTA 5 had 3 different PlayStation eras, if you will. It's a crazy time, man. They take their time, but they always deliver. I hope the details are right. I hope they fine-tune some of the mechanics. That's one thing that Grand Theft Auto's kind of lacks. Some of the shooting and running around mechanics I felt were just a little wonky. But it's a massive game. It's going to be incredible what they're going to put with the music. They're making fun of Florida, which I'm always here for. No offense.
Oh no, I hate Florida. Please do.
And I know people were kind of bashing the idea of having a woman protagonist when the leaks were happening, but after you see the trailer, people are starting to turn. I don't see what the problem was. I thought both these characters going to play as is going to look cool. It's going to be good. It's going to be different. We'll see how it plays out, man.
Yeah, I mean, people act like Samus wasn't the female protagonist that everybody
Hey, some
loves.
people still don't know that.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, and also it has to. This has to be the best game of all time because they sacrificed a lot of potential with Red Dead Redemption 2. So like this has to make up for that.
It does. Um, those are two massive games, man. It's a shame. Like I know, like the Red Dead Online, I feel like people are talking about, kind of suffered a little bit, wasn't supported as much. That's all the question I have as far as GTA Online. Do you think they're just gonna update the current one, or gonna have a brand new rollout of a new GTA Online to go with this game, and are gonna have both maps in there? Because that'd be sick.
Uh I honestly don't know if they could handle having both maps in one game. What I think is going to happen is GTA 5 online is going to be around for like a year until GTA 6 online happens cuz GTA 5 online didn't happen right away.
Yeah, that's true. It was supposed to come out like as soon as the game launched. I think then they pushed it back to a month, and they might have even pushed it back to like a full year before it really got going.
Yeah. So I think they're going to let GTA 5 online go a little bit longer. Also, they're not going to they get a lot of attention from streamers who do the role playing servers. So they're not going to just kick them off and be like,
It's true.
they're going to give them a little bit of a transition.
Yeah, I was just telling a friend too. Like people actually like some people pay like just to be on some of those servers, some of those really popular ones. It's like a whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I tried that. I didn't pay for it, but I tried to do those servers once. And it's more like I see why streamers do it, but man, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely, man. Um, shout out, Mr. All Power. What's up, man? Hey, man, I see you're on one again, man. What's up? What's up? Uh, shout out,
Hey,
Mr. All Power.
2023, man, it's not weird anymore.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. I'm excited for. And speaking of years, since you brought it up, it's 2023, and we gotta wait till 2025 for this game. Why such a long wait?
But you know what's crazy stupid? Last week I went on a rant about how we gave CM Punk too much power in the wrestling world. This week we've given Rockstar too much power because
100%.
they can not do anything besides this. And they're gonna I mean GTA 5 is the most successful, most financially successful entertainment project ever.
Yeah, all
Movies,
time.
TVs, anything. Like they make that much money. So they could do this again. They could break their own record.
And I think they will because the weight, the hype. Like I was in high school with this game when 5 came out. So now
Right.
we have all these that whole generation coming up. You know, we got money now, we're adults. Then you have the new generation coming up hearing about GTA Online. There's so much hype around it. I think the video broke records, 100 million like in 24 hours. Like it was insane what they were doing. Um I think this is what happened with GTA 5. People might not remember. It was supposed to come out, I think, the year before. It got delayed like a full year. So I think they're going with this 2025 date as like that's like the furthest out. Maybe it might get moved up if they finish some things up early, but I think it's like the furthest out. They've learned from their mistake with GTA 5 and having to delay it.
Oh, absolutely. I hope they learn. You said you brought up you're in high school. I remember literally staying home the first 2 days it came out to play it. Yeah, I think I see some great things for this. Do you think you're gonna buy it as it comes out?
Oh, this is day one. No question. I've been waiting years, man. It's gonna be like 12 something years before between games. So I'm getting a day one. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. You know, and like Eric said, Rockstar has way too much power nowadays. But they kind of back it up. It's kind of like, and sadly, I feel like Naughty Dog's going in that direction. That's my favorite game director of all time, and they're taking a long time to bring these games out, man. PS3, they put out what 4 games, all 3 Uncharted, The Last of Us. Last generation, we only got 1 game. This generation, we're just getting remakes. Man, where the games at? So the development time is a lot longer. Development cycle is a lot longer for some of these major releases.
But actually, that brings up something that I don't know if we plan to be on GTA 6 this long, but
Hey, man, we let it rip. If everyone's messing with it.
I was wondering because we've talked about how I don't believe games that are incomplete should be considered game of the year, which is why I don't care that what's the big game people said was
Cyberpunk?
Star
Or
Nah,
Starfield,
the
Starfield.
that one, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
so the problem is that like game developers, they have to rush them out and they release them unfinished.
Yeah.
So now we see what happens when they take their time. Now we gotta wait till 2025. So
That
which world do you prefer? The one where we wait 2 years, or we get it as
I
soon
mean,
as possible,
can we
but
not get a
patches?
middle ground? Like you make a great point with that. Can we not get a middle ground though, where like we can have someone overseeing these developers, like, hey, we got to get it out at a certain time, but also letting it cook a little bit. Don't just have it play tested. If it's not buggy, if it's all well tuned, you're not doing too much crunch. Go for it.
That's
But
I
I don't
wish
know,
we could
man.
see that middle ground, but I feel like that doesn't happen unless they raise the price of
Oh, 100
games
percent.
even more.
I can't even think of a game right now that was in that middle ground where when they announced it or when it was expected to when it came out was like a fairly reasonable time. Maybe Spider-Man 2 actually. They've been pumping them games out like crazy.
Uh,
Insomniac's kind of been on that.
I feel like it felt like a shorter wait because Miles Morales was like in the middle.
That is true. That's a good
Which
point as
I
well.
mean, do you consider that add-on or a separate game?
I think nowadays, like I feel like back in the day, we had there was AAA games, the big releases, and there was also the AA games, which I figured like a Saints Row, Midnight City, couple like that I feel like AA. And we don't really have those AA games anymore. I feel like nowadays the new version is not necessarily DLC. I don't even know if I can call it an expansion pack, but there's games like the Cyberpunk one with Idris Elba. I feel like is kind of like that, or Uncharted Lost Legacy, where it was like a too big to be DLC, but too small to be a full game. That's kind of what Miles Morales was.
I feel that.
But yeah, shout out everybody in chat. I see Mr. All Power in there, man. What's up? Nate up in there.
I need
Uh,
to hang on before you go any further. I need to know why my Franklin. When you talk about GTA 5 Franklin, because I'll quote the lines. I just need to know why and how I got Franklin.
wow, hold on. I just hey, who you call it an impact mark, man? I'm an impact guru, aficionado. Okay, you know who else is an impact aficionado? Will Ospreay, world champ.
Oh,
MJF,
disgusting.
world champ. Stop playing with it. Stop playing with us.
Notice you didn't say Kazuchika Okada.
Hey, we don't mention that one. You can't win them all. But yeah, I don't know why you call my boy Eric Franklin. Hey, here we go again, Nate.
Oh man.
Uh,
Mr. All Power, stay out of Florida. Stay the hell away from Florida.
hey man, listen,
I
you got it. You got it.
I just want to say, I remember in high school, there were literally two big national stories that happened in Florida, and I was in walking distance of both of them. Florida is fucking crazy.
The closest I've come to Florida was being in the Miami airport on my way to the Virgin Islands. So I don't know anything about it. Oh man. But yeah, Eric has a point there for you guys. But that's GTA 5. I think we're gonna have to wait. Let us know. This actually, speaking of which, was the most voted on our poll this week. On our weekly poll, was the most voted favorite thing to be excited about over House of Dragon. Over a lot of things. Let us know what you were excited about and if you're ready to play GTA 5. There goes the poll. Eric, right on cue. So the Furiosa trailer dropped as well. We had Fallout TV show, the Halo season 2 trailer. Before I throw it to you for the boys and some other things, in your opinion, Eric, I actually thought the Halo season 2 trailer looked very good. I didn't watch season 1. Everyone, that's a very controversial season, but the season 2 trailer looked like they was kind of getting back to people wanted to see. Maybe because Arbiter was in there wrecking shit and I was excited, but I don't know. Eric, your thought on this last week's trailers?
All right, so I was about to talk shit. I was about to say I don't give a damn about season 2, but then you said the magic word.
The
Arbiter.
magic
I
word.
didn't know that he was in this.
Yes, sir. My boy was in there swinging that sword. And I was taken back, man.
All right, there's two things I need to know. One, is he voiced by Keith David? That one job. It better be Keith David. I'm sure he's available.
I hope he was available because I didn't hear the voice. It was kind of just like him doing his thing in the background, unless I missed it.
If they didn't get him, they fucked up. Two, is this going to be a Master Chief that's actually Master Chief? I don't want. I joked around about it a lot last season about how I wanted to see Chief making love and being human. I don't want to fucking see that. I want to see the Master Chief being the Master Chief.
Exactly. That's what we're here for, man. Uh, I'm if I start hearing good things, I'm gonna take a wait and see approach to that one. I'll check it out. I know I always dog Halo and like Xbox, but truthfully, I love those games. One of my favorite games of all time, especially co-op. You can't beat it.
Oh yeah.
We had the Boys season 4 trailer, I believe it was. What do you think about that one?
I'm looking forward to it tentatively. I always get a little worried when shows go on past season 3, just because the longer something goes, the more shaky they can get. Um, but I really hope, like Zach said, they treat like this season like it's the last. Like it doesn't have to be, but just don't don't get too comfortable with it.
Yeah, and they're starting to separate or spread their wings a little bit more. We're getting now a second spinoff is in the works. We're starting to see this become a full force franchise and break out. So, and I in my past of seeing things, that's kind of when things get a little shaky for the main show. I seen it with Arrow once the Flash came in. Great stuff for the first 2 seasons. Started bringing in a whole lot of other shows. They got a little shaky with the quality. So hopefully they don't spread themselves too thin.
Right. And I don't think I think the boys, the show, and the comics have differentiated enough that this isn't a spoiler in saying this. At some point, Homelander does die in the comics. There is an end to the conflict. Um, and they've started to introduce a way it could happen in the first spinoff. I just I hope that they are working towards an end game and they don't just get greedy and try to prolong this as long as possible.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. And then on the flip side of that, though, I mean, if anyone who's watched The Walking Dead knows there was a major plot point in the comics that was supposed to happen. They followed through, and some people might say the show never recovered from that.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. And Mr. Allpower, if those expressions are for my not so spoiler, it's I promise you they've changed a lot from the comics. There's a lot of, for the better in my opinion. So they who knows, maybe Homelander wins on the show, but
That's good. That's good. And we still got to get I'm still banking on it. Mortal Kombat 1 is out. Homelander's in there with also Eric's boy, the Peacemaker. I gotta brutalize this man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get
oh,
some clips out there once I put it through.
have you seen all the Omni Man clips from the game?
No, I haven't. I've just seen some of the fatalities.
He is, oh my god, J.K. Simmons was amazing. They captured Omni Man so well. I
Oh,
might buy the game and the Game Pass just so I can get him. And of course, like you said, Peacemaker.
yeah, that's hilarious, man. Yeah, Peacemaker in there, Homelander, Omni Man. Great gets for Mortal Kombat, and as they reboot besides Megan Fox, no offense.
Yeah, they keep doing that.
Yeah. I think again you can see the poll numbers there. I'll just read them off. I think we could make this a weekly thing where we put a poll out. We'll have it read out on the podcast. House of Dragons 13%, Grand Theft Auto 6 68%, Furiosa 8%. I'm a little surprised it was that low. I thought it was got a little more hype than the Boys season 4 with 11% of our 194 votes. I appreciate you all. Even when we were on hiatus, you guys have been all over these polls, and I really appreciate that. Pause.
Yeah,
Pause.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys have been really supporting the poll. You guys,
Oh, I hope Zach heard that one. I hope
I,
Zach was listening.
I don't know how to take my foot up my mouth with this one, man. Eric, you take over.
So yeah, thank you all for jumping on the poll and let us know. Let's shit. Actually, I don't know where to go with this either.
Oh man, we need a Zach. This is why we're a 3-man group.
Knock, are you watching Dynamite? Oh, Mr. All Power wants to know.
I do have Dynamite in the background, actually, man. Yeah, we're at Wednesday night. So what we have here, Dynamite update of the week or of the day, as you will. Mark Briscoe's on the edge of elimination. He took on Swerve. Swerve got the victory. We also had Jay Lethal versus Jay White coming up. We're going to talk about Adam Copeland. There's too many Adams. Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage is the main event. Right now, Tony Storm's coming out with our match against Sky Blue for the 100th time this year. And then the big one to open it up, Moxley choked out Roosh. Great match, great hard-hitting matches you would expect.
How's this classic been working for you? Has it been
Tony Storm?
No, I'm sorry, I meant
Oh,
the Continental Classic.
oh, it's been great. Great. You're getting a lot of good matches that we wanted to see. This is like AEW at its roots, if you will, where we're getting the matchups we want to see. Everyone's been really good. I can't think of any bad match. We haven't had that breakout match yet, like where it's like, oh, this is like a match of year contender. But all of them have been really good. I know Danielson versus Eddie Kingston was. I know you don't like Eddie, but Danielson brought the best out of him for their match.
My only concern, I don't even know if it's a concern. It just reminds me of the G1 Classic, and I'm just worried if you're not as good as the G1 Classic, then you're just gonna be known as a mini.
I see that, but I don't think a lot of the American viewers have the G1 Classic like that. I think they're bringing that over in their way for the U.S. viewers to see it. I think it could have been like you said, it's the mini. I think they could have presented it a little more. Like when you announce, you could have made the participants a bigger deal. Like you could have announced them ahead of time, on a special press conference like New Japan does. Like they make it feel like a really big thing. I felt like this was kind of announced late and rushed. Maybe next
Right.
year we can have a little more of a presentation to it. That's what TK really got to work on throughout the entire show. The presentation of it. Like say what you want about Vince, but like there was always like in your face with the taglines, the pyro. Like he made it feel like huge. I need TK to do that with his product.
Yeah, I do think I mean, we talked about like year one AEW. He did do that thing where he's like he expects everyone to know what's going on in the indies. Like, for example, like this is not knocking Eddie Kingston, but like when Eddie Kingston first, like his first match with Cody, I didn't know who he was, but TK was like, "Hey guys, it's Eddie Kingston."
Yeah,
So he does need to like present more and like play to the dumb people like me.
exactly. And again, we don't like. You just gotta. I don't know. There's gotta be some changes here, and we can see it now as sadly the company seems like it's cooling down. As since we're talking about AW and get into it right now with that. Um, there was a whole lot of negativity going around here. I don't even know where to start. So it came out that Brian Danielson was on the committee. It also came out today that um, he's part of the committee that gives out fines to wrestlers. Now, the Hardys have been speaking out. Britt Baker had been speaking out on Twitter, and pretty much Danielson and then Fightful broke earlier that we're going to see a lot less of the wrestlers tweeting about their complaints because backstage they'll be getting fined by Brian Danielson, which is a sentence I would never have that on my bingo card. I would never think I would utter a sentence like that. But that's what it is. I mean, TK said in the past Danielson would be the person he gave the company to if he on his deathbed, on his dying breath, he's giving the company to Dale Bryson, and he's his main guy now. So Danielson is going to be in those positions backstage where he has like that authority, whether he likes it or not, whether like it's something he's really interested in. So I don't get the blame for Danielson. That's just what he's been given. But what do you think about the whole situation with that before we get to the rest of the negativity around AEW?
I remember we brought it up last week about him giving out fines. I thought he would it would just be like how do I put it? If someone acts up, then you fine them or you punish them. That's how the business goes. But I don't think Brian Danielson's gonna fine people for tweeting online. I don't think that's gonna happen. I can't see him doing that.
Yeah,
TK did say that was it his last full-time run is gonna be in 2024. So this could be a way to like get Brian ready for an executive role to be the
yeah,
next EVP, sort of. Um, I'm down with him getting this role. I 100% think that if he did make the call about CM Punk, I agree with it 1000%. So I'm on Brian's side. I also controversial. I'm not all for wrestlers tweeting out their problems. If they have a problem, they should go to the boss. If it doesn't work with the boss, then I say leave. And that's not because I think you're not allowed to complain. I just think tweeting about it doesn't help you.
I don't think so either. And it's like if you really love like I'm not throwing shade on the Hardys. If you really love like your workplace, it just puts it in a bad light. As far as Britt, who's been company woman from day one, I'm not too mad at it because I'm sure she's held her breath on so much more she just wanted to talk about. So it's for her to it holds more weight when she tweets out. I can really sense the frustration because again, she's been the company woman since day one.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
As for the
It's
Hardys, I love them, all time greats. I know Jeff had his mistakes. I think that kind of took away, the trust TK might have had in him, and that's unfair for Matt Hardy, who's been on the straight and narrow, it would seem. But before Jeff had the DUI, it looked like they were getting set up to win the belt. That was like the big rumor. They were going to win the championships that year, and that kind of got put it on hold. So I don't know how you get them reworked in with all the stuff going on. And no offense, but and this actually is for TK, the tag team division is in shambles right now.
Which is a shame because I mean AEW year like their mission statement was like because the Bucks tag team wrestling was going to be a huge part of the show, and now they should still have the best tag teams of wrestling, but it's just not hitting.
Yeah. And that's what they were built on. It was like the tag team scene will main event. You can main event in AEW as a tag team. You could be a major have a major spot, and it doesn't really seem that way anymore. And I just want to say, because I'm watching AEW, if you guys are checking it out right now, I see a lot of Tony Storm stuff in here. Her presentation, that's one thing they've gotten completely right. Her presentation is amazing right now. She's on fire. As the rest of the company, but we'll get there. Her, Swerve Strickland, Edge, and Christian Cage have been the highlights of the show for weeks now. So shout out to those three. Maybe we'll bring back our MVPs. Next up on the negativity with this, TK tweeted out, which he's really got to stop tweeting.
He does.
There's been a whole lot of backlash with Ric Flair, them being there. People are kind of giving up on the company. It seems they don't, seemingly, because then people turn to be the first to be in line to go to the shows. But a lot of the rage here with Ric Flair being there. And TK tweeted out pretty much saying, "Oh, it's okay because we're not paying him. He's paying us through his Woo sponsorship with the energy drink. So everything is okay." That's why it's like justify. He tried to justify it in one of the most like tone deaf ways. I didn't think the way I just see it as TK not reading the room properly, as opposed to him trying to be a little malicious.
So, soon we're gonna have to address this chat because we have a good chat going on. But
we do.
So explain. So what's the problem with Ric Flair? Why are people are mad that he's getting paid for being there?
People are mad that has a platform nowadays, especially with his comment on Rampage last week that got edited out, pretty much saying, if you're 18 to 25, come see me in my hotel room. And not just that, people are upset because that some of the allegations from him from prior years, stuff like that. People don't want to see him on TV anymore.
I think I'm behind on this Ric Flair thing because I didn't. What is he like? Sexual allegations coming out about him now, or
not? Definitely not anything recent. This was like a bit ago. If I don't remember seeing it, but I think from what I gathered, again, I might be behind on this too. Let us know in the chat if you guys have seen this. People were upset, like him being on the trade with the woman and some other things, seeming like a predator. I haven't seen any like other allegations from like specific people.
All right, let me just say this. I think some of the things I like in wrestling might be wrong. Like Jerry the King Lawler stuff. I look back on that. Some of it was bad. Some of it made me chuckle. Ric Flair, we all know Ric Flair. He is not hidden who he is, what the character is, what the gimmick is. The limousine riding, jet flying, wheeling dealing, son of a gun. The thing about being 18 to 25, that's what his character would say. And I'm sure that's what Ric Flair in real life also would say. I feel like we know. I think it's harmless. I might be wrong. I might be absolutely wrong in saying that. And please tell me if I am. I think it's harmless. I say let the guy be on AEW, say his weird stuff, and let's all get a chuckle out of it. It's not going to be anything substantial.
Yeah, I think like with times nowadays, I think he's just in a different generation. Like he's talking to the crowd as if it was like the 80s, the 90s, and that stuff is not really going to fly nowadays. Again, I don't know if there was like something serious that came out. I actually let me know because I actually like Edgar said. I actually don't know if there's something like serious. I just know this as like his character and kind of him just being kind of out of touch with the generation and the times.
Like I'm speaking of this as like in my view of Ric Flair, I'm assuming that he is like if he's still hooking up. I don't know what his life is. I'm assuming he's hooking up with appropriately aged women. I don't think 18-year-olds are throwing themselves at Ric Flair.
But yeah, that's as far as Ric Flair there. And with all this going on, I mean, I really hope this doesn't take away from Sting's retirement tour. That should be the main focus. And I feel like with all the clicks and the popularity of going after AEW nowadays, that's an easy one to go after. And I feel like it's taken away from Sting. I hope that doesn't fully take away from his run because this is what the focus should be on.
Yeah, I hope Sting will be okay. You're right. It's if it does take away from Sting, if you're Tony Khan, do you do you fire Ric Flair? Do you tell him, hey, you're too hot right now, man, you gotta go?
From what I've seen, and this is why, like, I'm again, if we're like wrong in this and we don't know like the full story of like what he's done, let us know. We're just going off of like the character and like what we've seen on TV. Like he shouldn't have said certain things. I don't know anything about any other serious allegations. But
Yeah.
from what I've seen, a lot of the wrestlers support him. Like when he said, "Oh, I can walk away," there was like, "Don't walk away." Don't listen to the minority. So I don't know. I mean, he keeps getting all these sponsorship deals. I keep seeing him everywhere. He was just on. If you guys watch Shannon Sharp, he was just on his podcast. So I don't know if there's anything serious because I keep seeing him everywhere. So I don't know what the negativity with that is.
Yeah, agreed. If there is something serious, let us know. If it's a creep thing, then to each their own.
And then what else would we have here? Oh, and then as you can see in that middle picture, the crowd here. The crowds have not been good. Besides Wembley, they just went to Montreal for Collision. And I think it was like maybe 1,000. It could have been below 1,000. As you can see, one side completely empty. I think some teenage crowds are looking better than this.
So I know this is a legitimate question. Is TNA running stadiums this is not me picking on TNA. This is a question. Are they running stadiums this big?
If you're talking about past Teds, they were at Wembley Arena. But no, they're not running any other arenas this big. No.
I do wonder though why this is happening to AEW because is it burnout? Are they doing too much? They are apparently they've been making money, but their attendance should not be suffering this hard.
I don't get why it is. I really don't. Because as far as the product, the wrestling has been great. Well, there's a lot to tune into AEW for. I just think it might be all right. For example, as Zach said this in the chat as well earlier, Collision's not on TV in Montreal where they went for Collision, and then they put a show there. So that's kind of hard to get the word of mouth. And then the ticket sales, I don't know if they're promoting it as much. We've been seeing some people do some promotion, like going on TV on local news stations. But besides promoting Wembley, I haven't seen a strong effort of their promotions anywhere.
And I guess it's kind of hard to promote when like you book your full card like 5 minutes before the show.
And that's the thing too. I think just with weekly television, it's not easy. I'm not like trying to really like get on them because I know it's not easy. I just don't want to see a repeat of what happened with TNA where they were booking some of these big arenas, which they were, and then it started not being able to fill it. They were kind of burning money, and then obviously the Hogan stuff took a turn with the storytelling, so then they started losing the viewership, and eventually they lost a TV deal. Then they lost wrestlers because of a backstage dot. They tried to give AJ Styles a pay cut in his prime, and then he lost a TV deal. So I don't want to see a repeat of that.
And it's really scary.
Trauma flashbacks.
It's scary that you list all that off because if we're following what I said last week, AEW's Hulk Hogan, CM Punk, cutting a wrestler's paycheck in his prime, Cody Rhodes, losing wrestlers. Then
Jade
they just
Cargill.
lose some. Yep, Jade Cargill.
Oh man, it's literally like, and that's what scared me, bro. Like I love AEW. I'd love TA to pass. I don't want to see a repeat of that because it was hard enough to go through that, and then to have WWE be the only show in town. That's gonna hurt a lot of things, even with Triple H in charge. More companies, more jobs, more opportunities, more competition. Better for the workers, better for the wrestlers, better for the fans.
I really don't want WWE to win this war because
they'll be insufferable.
I mean, we literally got we did not get Taker versus Sting because they were still patting themselves on the back about
Yeah.
being WCW.
Yeah, so I just hope they get it together. I don't know who TK needs to listen to, but there's some glaring holes that that hasn't been addressed that needs to. And I'm afraid with how he's handled the women's division, they might fumble Mercedes Monet, and she could be the biggest boost to ratings to everything they need right now. Good
Yeah,
graces.
yeah,
We'll see there. Eh, And I don't think it's so doom and gloom. Again, Wembley's been amazing. They're selling out stadiums. The ticket sales look great for next year so far. We just need the in between. I hope they're turning a profit because I don't want them. And a TV deal hasn't been announced yet. I hope they get a new TV deal and I hope they keep going strong.
So I can't remember the numbers exactly, but I did say they made a lot of money. But yeah, we're waiting to see if it's a profit or not.
Yeah,
Um, but I also you brought up Wembley. I'm also gonna say I don't even know if that is necessarily a good sign because I think the UK is just that starved for a big wrestling promotion that anybody could have gone there
that's the
and
thing.
gotten
That's
that.
the thing. I'm not going to take away from them because selling out stadium is amazing. But TNA used to go there for Wembley Arena and sell that. If you watch those shows, that place was packed. So yeah, UK is a great place to go to like get some hot crowds, sell out, and put on a really good looking show. So I see your point there. I need to see if they can do some of that on US soil now. Even coming to Los Angeles, I don't think the numbers was as strong anymore. One of their big places to go, Chicago, doesn't seem like a prime destination anymore. So we really got to see where they can sell out here.
Yeah, agreed.
And I know I know they beat to death going to Daly's place during the pandemic, but I think it's time to return there and get some work.
Yeah, I didn't I didn't hate Daly's Place. I just hated how produced it was during the pandemic and
Yeah,
fake crowd and the guns trying too hard.
I enjoyed what the Guns were doing. Actually, I know about one of the few, but I enjoyed what the Guns were doing. I enjoyed what MJF was doing with Sean Spears.
I
But
liked I liked their enthusiasm, but they ruined Judas for me.
yeah, I can see that. And as we're talking about their tour right now, they just announced another Canada tour for 2024 coming up in April, May, and July. That should be interesting. Hopefully, they can start building some more crowds there. Um, yeah, hopefully AEW can be around for a long time. We really want to see them because again, competition is great. Right now, it's not looking the best, but I think they can put things in a good swing.
Yeah,
Uh,
hopefully.
yeah. What's next up on the board?
Do you want to hit these chats? Because there have been some good chats.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. A lot of you guys, man. Thank you all here. We're still figuring out our days. Let us know if you enjoy West Coast Pop Wednesdays. Um, did we talk about Mr. All Power? Let me start from the top here. Is that how Florida really is? Should I take a trip?
Oh, we went there. We did that one.
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
We were
Bilal
at
Junga, what's up, man? GTA 6 about to be fuego. Yes, sir. Watching Dynamite. I see my boy Zach is in the chat. That is Zach chatting, man. Jump on and talk to your boy. That is Atlas Zach. Nubenco. What's up, Nubenco? Good to hear from you. We're doing great. I hope you're doing well as well. Mr. All Power wilding out in the chat once again. Then he says, Sky Blue, I love her new gimmick. Her gimmick's good, man. Zach out here in the chat, bro. That's a good comparison. I can definitely see that.
yeah.
If everyone wants timeless, how about watching some old cartoons like Tom and Jerry or Popeye the Sailor Man? Now that's timeless. Nubico cutting a promo real quick on Tony Storm. Tom and Jerry's amazing, by the way. Love Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. It's dark as hell last episode, but amazing.
Yeah. Nubico, if you ever watched, I was just talking about this with a coworker actually earlier. Some of my favorite things of Tom and Jerry were back in the day were some of the movies they did were really cool as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's some good ones.
Yeah. All good tunes. West. Here we go, Zach. We gotta get a Tubi sponsorship from our man Zach. Man, Tubi has some good old tunes like full seasons of GI Joe. Oh man,
True.
and of course to go with the backlash, AW dropped a Ric Flair T-shirt today. Love to see it.
That's awesome.
Man. Mr. All Power TK needs to go to leadership school. I don't know, man. And he's talking about Ric Flair. Mr. All Power says he's 74, talking about 18-year-olds, and then he got in trouble last year. What did he get in trouble for again? I do remember that happening.
I don't
Now that
remember.
that
I
rings a
remember
bell.
the train. The train thing was it this year or last year?
Was that why he got pulled? Because he was supposed to be on AEW. It seemed. Wait, was that last year? Maybe it was 2 years ago. It was with Andrade. I remember it was supposed to be Ric Flair and
Yeah,
Andrade, and eventually they just kind of stopped talking about that. I forget what happened though.
I think it was either the train thing or something happened right after it. Like he was doing something crazy.
Zach, if you're still in the chat, you might know because I that rings a bell. Or Mr. Allpower, let us know what that was because you kind of jogged the memory here. And then Nubenko, Rio is back. Mr. Allpower, Rio is back. I did see her. She returned and took out Tony Storm at the end of her match with Sky Blue. Good to see Rio, man. Everyone loves Rio. She's a bright spot for AEW. We don't get her out all the time, but every now and then we get a taste.
Is she okay? Is she is is Tony Storm a heel? I thought she was a face.
I don't know what Tony Storm is, but I think she's in a particular spot where she can be kind of work with anybody. If I think Rio would fit well with this kind of Tony verse of timeless Tony. It might be makes for some funny moments, like with her Kawashita in black and white, giving her a knee on the ramp was pretty funny. I can see what Rio doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Mariah May is, of course, teaming up with Tony. We'll see how that plays out, what that storyline leads to. Um, I think that's it for AEW here. It's more wrestling. I don't know if you have that slide pulled up. We can talk about NXT was great last night. There were some highs and there were some lows. The high, of course, being as we're getting through these slides. We keep it right there.
I think I have it. There we go.
Forget about that dude that stole Bruce Banner's name. Forget about any other body slam you've seen. Lash Legend body slam Otis. Put it in the museum. Put it on the opening graphic. Lash Legend is star. She's going viral. Slamming Otis. Great feat of strength. I don't know if you checked this out, but this is the highlight of probably the week.
Yeah, I saw they posted on Instagram. They've been putting it everywhere. It's pretty cool. I believe I heard from someone that she broke all of the records at the Performance Center, including Bianca Belair's. So
Wow.
she is the real deal. She could really be something.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but that's really cool. And I can see it too. I mean, there's so much talent in NXT right now. That's why, like, I think we talked about it in the last podcast where um, NXT might be able to rival AEW if they go head to head again. There's just so much talent coming out of there. And it looks like the NIL deal and doing that stuff with Next in Line and getting a lot of college recruits college athletes was a good idea. They're getting molded into like great wrestlers. You got a mix of other seasoned wrestlers like Roxanne. I think Cora Jade was seasoned. So Carmelo Hayes for the men's side. It's looking really good over there in the NXT side.
I I do wish the best for NXT. I might not watch it, but I hope for AEW's sake it's never on the level of AEW, because if the I will never see them as a third brand. I'm sorry. They are the developmental brand. They are the G League of WWE. They should never be on brand with AEW, which should be on brand with the main roster.
Yeah, it shouldn't, and that'd be really bad if they compete with AEW. But we'll see how it goes. NXT's on fire. From one high spot to a lower spot. Uh, Wesley, former Impact X Division champion, member of the Rascals, former tag team champion, NXT North American champion. He won the opportunity last week to face Dom Dom. I can't really just call him that at NXT Deadline. Rhea's taken over. And I guess I don't know if it happened last week or when it happened, but he has to get back surgery. He's going to be out for at least 8 to 12 months. He gave an emotional speech last night. Very, very, very heartbreaking to see. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery and hopefully he can come back to the ring at least as close to 100% as possible and live a good life, good, healthy, like moving life. But he's going to have some back surgery. It's going to be a long road for him, and he's out of the match this Saturday.
I wish him the best of luck. It's really a shame because he was really starting to heat up, and they put him in a feud against Dominic. Like that's a main roster star. They
Hmm.
had faith in him. Um, I will just say this: WWE needs to learn how to put certain segments online because the way they put it was it just starts with him crying. Like he's already crying and he's saying like I'm going to be out for a year or something. Just the way they put it up was very awkward, and I
Hmm.
feel like I did not get the full emotional. It felt kind of silly. It took a serious moment, and it like the way they posted it was not good. So they
Gotcha.
got to work on that.
Yeah, especially moments like this, man, like that. That's tough to see. So yeah, just put the whole thing up there. Don't even chop it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's NXT last night. Deadline will be this week. We also had from another serious injury, Nikita Lyons returned, hit a crazy cool spin kick on Blair Davenport on the ramp. She's back from I think she tore ACL or something like that.
Good on her. Good on her. She can get her stock back, and then maybe we'll see her on the main roster. We think like after Mania.
I think she might stay there for a bit, not because of like she's not ready or anything, but I can see her running with the belt for a little bit and then just loading up that division as they prepare for CW. I mean, Braun Breaker's still there.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about their TV deal. So they do actually need to start. See, that's also a tough thing about them trying to. This is weird because I do want. I don't want NXT to be stagnant. Everything I've said makes it sound like I'm like NXT should stay in the dirt. But the problem with trying to make a developmental brand your third brand is that you have to keep good people, which means you have
Yeah.
to say, hey, you are perfectly ready to move up to the next level. But because our job depends on you being here, you have to stay here, make less money, have less spotlight, while everybody else is up there doing the real show.
That's the thing too, man. And I think when you have a good rotation of vets like Baron Corbin going down there, it works. We also seen Johnny Gargano stay there for like years.
Way
That
too
kind of
long.
worked too, way too long. And now I feel like it kind of stagnated his main roster jump. His momentum kind of is a little off, but it kind of worked a little bit in their favor.
And with Johnny, I felt like that NXT era, everyone who was there talks about it. It was like a magical thing. It was unique, and I get it because like that really was an amazing era. That like I feel bad for people who've never seen Black and Gold NXT. Um, but there's really no like after he was champion, after the Champa stuff, he was just kind of there just to help the
He
brand.
he was for a bit, but then he got with the Way, and I thought the Way was really good. That whole group like really worked for me,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
or at least it had its moments. Maybe not week to week, but it had some really nice moments.
I think the best. I think it helped Austin Theory, so I'll give it that.
Yeah. What's my boy's name? Not Sam Shaw. What's his name in WWE?
Loomis.
Yeah, Dexter Loomis. I thought he was on fire during that time. I forgot he's on the roster now.
Yeah, that's also what's it's kind of tough gimmick to do week to week on a big show like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did it week to week on Impact. That's a big show as well. That's when Impact was in his prime.
Oh, Mr. All Power with the going against me. Current NXT better than Black and Gold. Is that true? So if I will ask you, Knock, is that true? Because the reason I refuse to watch NXT present day is I don't like watching things after their peak. And to me, Black and Gold is peak. So is it possible that current is better?
I it's tough to say because there was so much cool stuff in Black and Gold. We had freaking Andrade and Johnny give a 5-star match. Malachi Black was there. The women, Oscar was there. All right, so I will say this: if you're picturing NXT 2.0, as Zach would put it when it first debuted,
Mm-hmm.
it's night and day from that. Like they've found their groove. HBK's in this bag. It is so good right now. It's just hard to compare to Black and Gold. I don't know how you compare it, but right now this is like whatever WWE Triple H pictured for NXT to be at its peak. This is it right now for what they want for development to get ready for the next uh the main roster.
Okay. Then maybe I'll give it another chance. I just The talent, I mean, because Black and Gold roster was not developmental. They just got a bunch of really good indie wrestlers and loaded that show up. Oh man. Okay. I see a lot of love for NXT in the chat. I'm more likely to watch that than I will ever watch Impact.
You're missing out, man, on the main roster on where you see real
terrible.
stars.
Yeah. See real stars fight for internet championship, fight for an STD and X divisions, and
hey, Trinity's there.
God, don't remind me. Why?
At this point, you're a better chance seeing Mercedes there at AEW.
God, Trinity needs to get out of there. Get to a real company.
She's the world champ, man.
Disgusting. That's a small world.
Oh man. But a lot of wrestling going on right now. And speaking of Impact Wrestling, we just had Will Ospreay announce he's going to go back to TNA in Vegas. He's going back to TNA, and he's calling himself the TN Assassin. I love it, man. He's having a great match there. He'll be there for the I think it's called like the Snake Eyes in Vegas there. They'll be in the Palms Casino Resort. I might be there. West Coast Pop might be represented there. I got to see. We see how the schedule aligns, but I'm getting excited, man.
We've driven to Vegas for AEW. You really want to go through traffic? You want to go through that drive just for TNA? They don't love you back, Knock.
But we worked for them for free.
Exactly.
Oh man! One of these days, I'll tell some more stories of our Impact Day, our day with the Impact Wrestling crew. What else happened? Speaking of indies, though, not that impacts an indie, but speaking of the indies,
exactly.
Another topic of discussion, since I'm the one who's on our Twitter, Matt Cardona is calling out indies, and surprisingly, because I thought he was, I don't pay attention to a lot of stuff he does, but I thought what he said made sense. He pretty much said, if you're a booker running an indie show, make sure you have cases of water in the back for the wrestlers, for the talent. And he was getting backlash from some bookers. He was like, well, some bookers were like, well, we already pay you guys your fee. You guys can break some waters. He's like, well, some of the waters be half empty. You guys can that's a waste. Why would we do that? And I was shocked. So there was a back and forth actually, and some wrestlers were jumping in and it's like pretty much say like, that should be a standard. He kind of went a little hard. He kind of said like, if you don't have waters in the back, you should just close business. You broke ass. You can't afford it. He pretty much said that in his own words.
Yeah, it is crazy. I don't understand. This is weird to say on a wrestling podcast, but wrestling fans are fucking weird. Like, it's a common courtesy. You are hiring people who are going to go out there and perform a very physical, like, strenuous activity. Yeah, get them some water. That's a very simple thing.
I don't get it, and it's crazy because like I seen some bookers quote tweeting him. You're publicly quote tweeting him. No, this is about to blow up, saying that was a bad idea. You're just making yourself look bad in your promotion, and I don't know how you're gonna book talent after like just shitting all over that.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with him that if you cannot afford to buy cases of water, then you should be in the business. That is great. Funny enough, I worked recently at a bar, and I needed a bottle opener. So I asked my other bartenders, like, "Hey, do we have a bottle opener?" They said, "Oh no, go ask management." I go ask management, and they say, "You're a bartender. Why don't you have a bottle opener?"
Oh my gosh!
I say, "Because you're a fucking bar."
You can't make this stuff up, man. Like common courtesy. Do you want your guy to make money or not? You want to help him out a little bit?
Exactly. And Mr. All Power, you get it. If you want, Knock, one thing I love doing more than anything is flopping. I like staying wet. How can a man stay wet if he don't got no water? Give us some water. Let me get some flops in the chat.
Yeah, get the flops in the chat, man. Put your fishes in there. now more than ever, get your fishes out there. Flop in the chat.
Exactly. Start
We-
tweeting at Matt Cordone some flops. Let him know we're on his side.
that's hilarious. And then speaking of that, because when we talk about Impact, when we were there for Impact, me and one of the wrestlers who was helping like organize the show because it was an Impact cross promotion with Hollywood Championship in Wrestling. Before the show started, when we were setting up, we went over. They gave us like some cash, got like a ton of jugs of water, like a few cases, loaded up real quick, brought them in there. Just simple.
Yeah, it's hella easy.
Like that's the bare minimum, and
It
that's
absolutely
crazy.
is. No one's even saying that you gotta go all out. Like, just get them a damn bottle of water. That's it. Like, I'm pretty sure one case would be enough for, like, if you're running a standard show, you have what? At least like probably 6 matches. That's 12 people. You can get a 24 pack. That's easy.
Yeah. So that sort of thing. Let us know in the comments what you think about that. It's been a great show this so far. I think we're coming up on some close to the end here. A few more things to talk about. I see Numiko in the chat. Let me pull your comment up real quick here. Because I just seen this as well. I'm only interested in the Von Erichs and AEW next week. I'm not interested in the nonsense of Roderick Strong. Oh, for the first time in Bud's, kayfabe, Roderick Strong stood up out of his wheelchair. But they just announced the Von Erichs are on AEW next week. I've seen the Von Erich since. Hey, I gotta say it. Impact's gonna be on it because they wrestled for Impact years ago on Slammiversary, and the Von Erich movie's coming out this soon. So, kind of good for AEW to do this. Maybe we'll get a surprise appearance from Zac Efron. Who knows?
Honestly, that could. I mean, he and MJF have been doing some photos and hanging out, so it could happen. That'd be pretty cool.
And I think MJF is smart enough to like be in his ear a little bit. Not overdo it, but like hey, you should make an appearance, promote your movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a win-win. But let's see what else we got to talk here. That was the week in wrestling. Anything else you guys want to talk about in the chat? Let us know if you had anything. I do see your comment also, Noob and Co. Eric, do you still want to see Natalia Markova in WWE?
I want to see her anywhere she wants to go. I think, I'd be fine with AEW, but I mean, you know how I feel about them in their women's division. So yeah, I guess WWE is probably the best place.
Right now, it seems that way. WWE or maybe even Impact Wrestling do some stuff with MK Ultra, who's hot right now. Trinity, you got a lot of people in Impact that Natalia Markova can mix it up with. Zach, thank you, man, jumping in there. Iron Claw is A24. A24 just cut a deal to air all their movies on Max and WB cross promotion. Yeah, it's happening, man. That's good. That's good.
We got it for Space Jam. We got it for a bunch of Max movies. So it's gonna happen.
I'm still like confused on how Max works because if you guys have Netflix, I've just seen so many DC movies popping up on there. Like their whole catalog of DC movies is on Netflix now, and there's so many other Warner Bros. Like exclusive stuff there. So I'm just like, they're really like shopping their stuff around.
Yeah, I mean, it helps them make money too. I mean, they could go for exclusivity, but also Netflix is willing to pay. Take their money while you can.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Godzilla -1 is getting a whole lot of praise right now. I don't know if you have any plans to see it, Eric.
I've tried to be a Godzilla fan, but to be fair, I've only really watched the modern ones. And for some reason, the modern ones think that we care about humans as much as we care about Godzilla and human stories.
Yeah, I've tried to. I know the new one coming out next year, Godzilla and Kong. They said it's like a 10-minute straight up fight scene, monsters, no humans. We'll see how that goes. Other trailers that dropped, House of Dragon season 2 looked very cool. They just confirmed today that there's only going to be 4 seasons of House of Dragons. I'm still trying to forgive them for what they did with the last Game of Thrones series, but House of Dragons is a step in the right direction. Hopefully these 4 seasons are very strong. What else we got here? Oh, and shout out to Zach. He says his baby girl loves hearing us talk.
Absolutely.
Well, Eric is the baby whisperer.
We've got a future flopper amongst us, and I can't wait to see what she does in the future as a member of the Just Us League. Zach, she has got a permanent invitation to join the Just Us League.
Yes, sir. She could be a popper if she wants to as well. Go for another 90 minutes, please. I hope we're not putting her to sleep. I know that's not what you're saying.
I feel like that's the greatest compliment he could give us as a dad.
Oh man, great stuff there. As you guys can see, if you're still watching AEW Dynamite, the main event is about to happen: Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland Edge. Huge match. Let's see. I'm very curious to see what happens.
That
I
is,
think you got it.
sorry, go ahead. I
You got
was gonna say it's a huge match to give away on. I love when people give away huge matches on TV, but that's a huge one to give away on TV.
it. It is, but the way Tony books things, I think we're gonna get this on pay per view as well. I like that he does stuff on TV because you want to do your best to pop a big number. You want to get that rating that looks very good, and it still makes TV feel important. Like we don't have a lot of throwaway matches. That's one thing I'll give TK a lot of credit for. He knows like some stuff should be on TV to make it feel important. Like we had freaking Omega versus Danielson on TV.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, those I just hate. You know why? Only reason I even think of this now is because we're part of those Facebook groups that talk about like AEW, WWE, and like if the numbers don't go a certain way, then people are like, "Huh." Even with this match, AEW still sucks, and it's just not. It's so annoying to see.
I can see your point there. I definitely can see your point there. Oh man, I would be on Twitter if it wasn't for the podcast. So shout out to everyone in the
Honestly.
comment section, man.
Yeah, we still have a very positive community. Somehow
Yeah,
2,000 subs, and we're still a happy family.
so I really appreciate that for sure. I'm glad you guys, keep it as positive as we can over here on the West Coast pop side. Thank you for being a popper.
Or
Last
flopper.
bit of business, Eric. I think we got one more slide that we got to talk about here. We just reached the hour mark, man. Hour flew by.
Yeah. You got to
Also,
tell me
while
what
Eric's
slide
pulling it up,
is.
I want you guys to let us know if you guys are enjoying the new format. Um, we're really trying something different, incorporating a little more pop culture to our popcast. So thank you for rocking with us and as we test this out. Um, how accurate is GTA with Florida going to be, man?
Oh, so I'm not gonna lie. Some of the things in the trailer I didn't even know were like direct references. I thought they were just like doing crazy shit that could happen in Florida.
Yeah,
But yeah, I guess I should have fucking known that everything that if you could literally just take a fucking dartboard and put random words on there, throw a dart, and if it comes up with any crazy story, it probably did happen in Florida.
kind of reminds me of the Boondocks. How I used to do things.
Oh man. Yeah, this is all ridiculous. I am excited to see them make fun of Florida. And who knows, maybe this is what Florida needs. Maybe it needs a good roasting to get a look in the mirror.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And like when I played GTA 5, I played it before I moved to LA. And when I came to LA to see all the cool stuff that GTA did, that was like real places. So this is gonna happen with Florida. People are gonna play this game and then go to Florida and try to see these stupid places and see if this stuff really happens. So it's gonna be a thing for a while.
Yeah, it was really cool seeing. I actually just drove to Tampa to buy a car, and I think in the trailer it was Alligator Alley or whatever they call that road. So seeing it in the game was pretty cool. The map is going to be bigger than I thought it would be because it's not just like Miami. It's a whole ass like it's not the whole country, right? But it's gonna be big.
Yeah,
Not the whole country. I meant the whole
like the
state.
whole
It's gonna
state.
be
I knew
yeah,
what you meant.
yeah. It's gonna be big.
So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they do a map reveal. And hey, who knows? The Game Awards I believe is next week. We'll see who wins, but maybe we'll have another trailer for the Game Awards. I would
Oh,
say
that
E3 in the summer, but that kind of died out.
yeah. I think is it fair to say that we were part of the last acceptable E3? Because even that one was
I don't know if
was
I would say it was acceptable, but I think we can say we're part of the last E3.
there wasn't one after. No, I think there was one after because I remember they
Was
sent
there?
us another. We either they sent us an invite or we were looking at it and we were like, it's not worth it.
I think they might have canceled that one though. Actually, I think we said that and then they canceled it. So then we didn't
Oh,
miss out on anything.
oh, yeah, because that one we were part of was not worth as much as we put into it.
No, it wasn't. I think we got a few interviews out of that, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that was wild.
We still get
Um,
emails from some of the game
no,
developers.
I get blown up with some of the emails. I do want to follow up on some of them, but I digress.
Yeah.
Mr. Allpower, is Christian stealing Zach's dad gimmick? Oh my god, Mr. Allpower, you're on one. That is hilarious. The patriarch. Do you guys think the game will look this good or take a visual downgrade?
Um, that's a good question. 2025. At that point, we could start to hear rumors about the next gen console. So I could honestly see it being what we see here, maybe a little worse. And then when the next gen comes out, they'll do like an upgrade.
Yeah. Some of these trailers nowadays, you got to just take a look at, like, is this actual gameplay? Is it going to be maybe a cutscene? Because if it's cutscene, they can make this look as good as they want. The gameplay might be a little different. Um, what else about this? And then we also, you just guys depend on like what you're playing on. I think a lot of the stuff I've learned over watching all these trailers is it on a PC. If it's running on a PC, it's going to look amazing. Um, if it's like a console, it might be a little different than what you're seeing. So we'll see how it plays
That's
out.
true.
2025.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually not gonna lie. You mentioned it on PC. I am excited to see what modders do with it because, I mean, this is true for almost every PC game. But GTA 5, people got on that and they made that game a lot better on PC. Like they
Yeah.
improved graphics, they did all types of stuff.
Actually, as I said that, and as you were talking, I just remembered, it's actually not coming to PC, and that they don't ever drop on PC right away. It's going to go straight to PS5, Xbox, and maybe at a later date, like years after, it's going to go to PC.
Oh, that's
So
crazy. That's
yeah,
right.
they don't do PC. I forgot about that.
So in
Um,
that case, they might have to keep GTA 5 online
yeah,
because the servers we were talking about, they need that promotion. They need that.
yeah. So that's interesting stuff there, man. We'll see how it plays out. Um, I think we're coming to a close here. A lot of wrestling, a lot of pop culture. Hopefully next week is a busy week as well. I see people in the chat here. Zach is wilding out in the chat. My boy Zach putting in overtime at Rockstar. Man, imagine that was your job for 6 months, rendering certain aspects of GTA 6. I'll put it at that.
That's Ric Flair's
Uh,
job right there.
Mr. All Power been putting overtime in it as well. Um, damn, bro. Okay.
Hey, you do you, man. Whatever works out them arms, I guess.
But I was wrong for what I said earlier.
Damn right you were. We got to hop
Man.
on the, what was it? Get on the pole, hop on
Yeah,
the
the
cock.
people were supporting the polls, man. Jump on the polls. We'll get another one
Uh,
out for you guys this week for sure. Speaking of stuff we got to get out, if you want to bring up that tier list slide, last
yeah.
order of business for you guys this week. We've had so many tier lists crossing wrestling, factions, Spider-Man, comics, movies, video games. We appreciate all the support, and we're going to bring these out. Let us know in the chats what tier lists you want to see us do. What do you want us to cover? And we're going to be cooking up some ideas as well. So tier lists are going to make their way back, man. We love doing these. Like Eric said earlier in the show, he watched one back, man. It was hilarious.
Absolutely. Check out the older ones. When we see the numbers go up on that, it does really help us out. Um, I'm really excited for somebody suggested a voice acting tier list. I can't wait for us to do that one. It's gonna
That'd be
be a
great.
fun one.
That'd be great. And then for me, like making some of these thumbnails is like super fun for me. I do enjoy putting these together. I think currently the one on the right in the middle there, the best video game protagonist is our highest viewed one. So we appreciate the support on there, man. Let's keep racking it up and tell Eric and Zach why Mario should not have been the number one. Not to spoil the video, not to put Mario anywhere near the S class. So go on that video and make sure you hit the like button and comment why Mario is not the number one video game person.
I'd also like to point out that in our most controversial video tier list with the X-Men, I am not there. However, our most popular one, video game protagonist, everyone agrees that my pick, Arthur Morgan, should have been S class. It seems when I'm there, these tier lists seem to. I'm the tier list. What do they call it? Oracle.
Oh man, we'll see how it goes. But let us know. Hit those comments, man. Rewatch the video if you haven't seen it in a while. This is the West Coast Popcast. Hopefully, we get Zach back. Um, appreciate you in there, Bilal Junga, Mr. All Power, Noob and Co. Eric, any final words?
I sorry, I got distracted. I saw the two at the bottom. I didn't realize we did a Spider-Man and a Batman rogues. Check out
Yeah,
these tier list, people. There's apparently we do a lot more than I realized.
yeah. I got to rewatch some of those actually. I'm curious what we put.
Yeah. I hope we made for the Condiment King. Um, subscribe, hit the icon, comment, share, help us out, and let us know what you guys want to see more of. Thank you all so much. You know, Knox gonna put the poll up at some point this week, so hop on the poll and let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think, man. We're back. West Coast Popcast Wednesdays. To our poppers, our Justice League members, we appreciate you all, man. Thank you. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.